Hello, viewers. It's another edition of the Counseling Corner on PCG TV. This program is brought to you by PCG TV. In thy light, there is light, and supported by the Presbyterian Counselors Association, PCA. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Viewers, we're going to discuss a very important topic. Today, we're looking at marriage in the biblical context. Marriage in the biblical context. My name is Ivy. I am your host. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. We're looking at the topic, marriage in the biblical context. And to help us delve deeper into this topic are very seasoned counselors. They are both Presbyterians and they are members of the Presbyterian Counselors Association. To my immediate left is the Vice President of the Presbyterian Counselors Association in the person of Counselor Emmanuel Owusu-Ansah-Date. Counselor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Counselor Emmanuel Date happens to be a member at the Nazareth congregation of the PCG and doubles as the district lay rep for the Hatchet district. We also have a very seasoned counselor. I call her the Black Beauty. She's in the person of Counselor Mrs. Rebecca Obobisa-Darko. Counselor Rebecca Obobisa-Darko fellowships with the Love Congregation at New Legon. Counselors, you're warmly welcome.
Thank you.
Viewers, this is the time to call a friend, to call another friend and a family member to be part of the program. This program has been designed just for you. In fact, it was designed with you in mind. So be part of the show. We're discussing marriage in the biblical context. Counselors, another moment on marriage. Now, what does the Bible teach us about the purpose and significance of marriage? Counselor Rebecca, could you take this for us?
Mama Ivy, thank you very much. God instituted marriage for a purpose, and we can see this purpose in three. God found that Adam needed a companion. In fact, when Adam named all the animals, he could not find a suitable one who could keep him company. And so God created Eve as a companion for him. And this companionship was suitable. And Bible says in Genesis 2, verse 15 to 25, that God gave Adam a suitable helper. And so, after companionship, Eve came in as a helper to Adam. And to further continue creation, God also instituted procreation for the two of them. And so we can see at verse 25 that God says the two of them were naked and they were not ashamed. Also, one benunu na wadi da adija na won eni enwu. Eyi chere senia erade bo aware fai. Say said bribiara dampan ewo won tem na wotena se yija. Wobeka won ho abom nso se okunu ne ojere na erade hira so a ma afimu aba.
Wow, thank you very much. Counselor Yedasi, na chere say adeja da no eni say na won ho deda ho na ene nu ye hwa kwan ben so na awarefo betuma dadeja won benu no won fere won ho.
Ama me da se. Yeka adagya dai ana senia erade hihye fine na enye ennamu nkoa ede emma beba. Na mmom eye da ne da asetena mu enhyehyɛ ɛwɔ sika fam ɛwɔ wodadwen fam sɛnea wo nneɛma wokɔ ne ba fam ɛsɛ sɛ okunu anɔyere ɛyɛ ne dadwen na ohu sɛnea wabrabɔ esi fa wabusuasɛm ade nyinaa ka bɔ mu a eyi ɛno sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ ɛho ɛda mpan mihu nea woreyɛ wo nso hu nea mereyɛ yɛka yɛn adwene bɔ mu na yɛfa adwene ɛno ne nea yɛka sɛ nakedness. Obi anim. Obi de. Na bribi hawa metumi aboa.
Mama Yedasi, thank you very much. Papa Uswansa, does the biblical concept of marriage differ from the modern societal views?
Yes, Mama. Before I answer this question, I think you introduced me as the Hacho. This is lay rep. I'm no longer the district lay rep.
Oh,
actually, I'm the Atomic Hills, which was created out of Hacho.
Oh, I see.
So yes, currently I am
Atomic Hills lay rep.
That's right. Even though I serve as a lay rep for Hacho for 3 years, once we were created out of Hacho, I continue to be the lay rep.
Oh, I see.
Currently, I'm about to end my tenure.
Oh, wow. So thank you very much for the clarification.
Yes. The difference is there. Actually, God originated marriage, just as Mama told us. And everything must go his way. He created marriage, and therefore, we must subscribe to what he wants marriage to be. Traditional marriage, yes, is accepted. Legally, it's accepted as a way of marriage that man engages a woman and they come together with the four families supporting these couples. But in the biblical sense, marriage is a sacred covenant established between a man and a woman. And God's intention was that man will enjoy the company of the woman, that they should have mutual support for one another, and then they will be able to procreate and continue the creation of mankind, just as God instituted. So basically, it is a relationship that reflects the relationship between Christ and his church. So we don't have this kind of relationship in the worldly sense or the traditional sense, because we as Christians must follow the way Christ relates to his church. So that is what the Bible actually indicates and reflects the relationship between Christ and his church, whereby Christ and his church is bound by the love that Christ demonstrated. He sacrificially died for the church. He sacrificially died for the church, which is representing the bride in marriage. And the man in the marriage is Christ himself. So God expects every man in a Christian marriage to sacrificially love his woman or his wife, just as Christ died for the church sacrificially. And the woman in the marriage, that is the wife, has the obligation or the mandate to revere the husband or respect the husband, just as the church respects Christ and worship him. Thank you very much.
Yo papa, me da se. Na me te wase a. Me hia branti, me do no, ono so do me.
Yes.
Ye nware ye de enso no, de hia ne se ye mienu nyina obi ado ne nyonko. Ena ya adwen so, se de be ya sika na eka so beti ama ye nti, yakọ haidan ana be ma na ono ampo woni dan. Enti no, metu afi me ma me fie. Ena me ne na kotena, ye hwe se enche bia ye be ware. Eno achi a. Ye do ye hu se ne ewu ken se Kristo odo a ode do asafo no eno ne de toto aware ho no yenso ye hia ya ye do ye ho no na bibi wo ho ana moma ye ntwen. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we are back, we will continue. Welcome back from the break. Before we took a break, Papa also answer.
Yes, Mama.
Na Mary Casey, Mesha Branti bia, me don't know.
You.
Na edan fom so na wo ho say ye do ye ho. Na yeti bom. Aware ni de ye be ware ken. But ene no se ne be ya aka no so bete wa ma ye nti. Yeti bom. Bibi wo ho ana.
You, Obaware a Awurade asɛm no nhyehyɛeɛ wɔ hɔ. Awurade kyiri adwamammɔ. Adwamammɔ ne sɛ wonware obi na wo ne no ɛyɛ awarefoɔ ne awarefoɔ yɛ. Nti Awurade asɛm a waka fa saa cohabitation ne saa nneɛma no a nnipa bebree ɛyɛ wɔ yɛman mu ha no ɛnyɛ acceptable to God. Anaasɛ Awurade mpene so saa. Woyɛ saa wode sɛe Awurade asɛm. Na ne Awurade hwehwɛ ne sɛ wahu ɔbaa no wahu bɛrima no modɔ mo ho. Mompene so na follow the normal way of marriage. Yɛn nananom ahyehyɛ to hɔ. Yɛn nananom wampene so sɛ ɔbaa ne bɛrima bɛtwe mpena ansa na ɔmaware. Ɛfiri sɛ ɛba saa moagu awareɛ no ho fi dedaw ansa na moware. Nti Awurade hwehwɛ sɛ ne mma ɛbɛware kwan ɛwɔ kronkron yɛ mu. Ɛno nso nti wayɛ nhyehyɛeɛ ato hɔ sɛ wohu obi anaasɛ wɔbusuafoɔ hu obi na ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔbɛware wo anaasɛ bɛrima no kɔware no a no ane sɛ yɛbɛfa the necessary anaasɛ yɛbɛfa kwan a ɛyɛ kwantere ne torodo no so na yɛtumi ayɛ nhyehyɛeɛ ama abusua nan no nyinaa ba mu na yɛakɔgye ɔbaa no awareɛ na afei ma ɔyɛ nea ɛsɛ sɛ awarefoɔ yɛ. Ɛno nti sɛ wonwareɛ a saa cohabitation anaasɛ mpratwe no ɛnyɛ nea ɛhyɛ Nyankopɔn anuonyam ɛsɛ sɛ woyɛ sɛ Kristoni.
Yes. Yeah, if I'll add.
You want to add something?
Yes. As Papa mentioned, cohabitation is not marriage. And we know this goes on, and sometimes it doesn't end up even in marriage. Sometimes there are children, and the effect is on the children negatively.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you find child neglect. Either the man is not taking responsibility of the children, or the woman is not taking responsibility of the children. So we are saying, if you found someone and you are courting, there is no need staying for a very long time. You will have to be intentional with this relationship. Decide. The two of you have to sit down. When are we getting married? So you plan towards it. You don't want to say, keke. Oh, men who are very man or bear man, and men who be not to say, and we are say what ho. There be SSM mutu de niema akwemu. O shisha my brabon. What the time to ho na eradia dom na to me akamu ho abom sa warefo.
Wow, thank you very much. Anyami me. Mene wonkwe kake abote blashi hilemi ni adomo maleno na kembote mi be mini jino ni sani wofi ni mene wo counselors ne nke wa keshi ko onamboko ne ke boba hishi ne ke esumobuwe onye se no ba ahihia sa no to twi kata be na ba fe oheni ke yo fo yo jibuwe bohu ochile obile se ake keke esumubu ebe ya ndo kela ya hishimo shimo oba wolenga na eme ko na ba bi eshi fefe o da na enye na ekemu aya na ekele aya hishi. Thank you very much, counselors. Counselor Rebecca, so what role does love play in the biblical teachings on marriage? Does it play any role at all?
Yes. In fact, marriage is about God's love.
Wow.
It is not about our love. And this love is centered on the agape love. Bible says, can two work together except they be agree? If there is no love, you cannot agree.
Exactly.
You are taking decisions. One's decision will be at the other side, the other somewhere. There can't be that cohesion.
That's true.
All the time you see there is conflict. But when you agree, that is when marriage can work. And this is the biblical principle of marriage. It's based on love.
Wow.
God is love, and he says we should love. 1 Corinthians 13, from 4 to 7, spells it out so well. I call it the concept of God's love. He says love is patient. Exactly. So if we want to love in this institution ordained by God, then we will have to practice God's love that is renewed for us daily. Exactly. It can't be by our strength. So yesterday we fought, and we will need to continue with this journey. How do I come, patch up with you, forget the past? Bible says we should not sleep over our anger. Inti ano sa na yebe den atua so. Esese rade dono da ode dumye no. Eno ena ye dwan tia no de adumye. Wow. Love is patient. Love is kind. Esese ye di ayemuye ede do na yetumi atnase. Na okatia so o say it is not envy. It does not envy. Na tia so can say and she it does not seek its own interests. So I am making every effort to make you comfortable, to ensure you are feeling well, you are feeling good emotionally, physically, everything. You are also ensuring I am also doing well. That's true. It is by this that it can work through the strength of God.
Amen. Mama, thank you very much. Enti sa mete wase a na na chese se yemfa de se obi onyo Kristoni na wahia wo na ose odo. Odo no den so negina. Ono no na chese unye o Kristoni a unti onyame do nase. Meaning that orin to me nka nchire obi se wo do no because ade a wo nim no wo nim ho ade. Ne wo no nti mpanimfo se ne wo do nsem no na ode ma. Ne wo no na obetumi de ama obi. Na obi onye o Kristoni o ka kire obi ase me do no. Ana obi abi o ka kire oberi ma se me do no. Ah onye o Kristoni no. Na eno sa na odo no den so na gina.
Mama, ewo ho bebre. Na ya na gina yankasa ya hoden so. Nti yakon anim na fei how beba amane beba Bible aka wo ho na edu eno so obehu se na fei ya bre ye nkomoribu na fei yesi ye rejai eno ti na divorce our rejai adosu yi na so se yesi ebegiri ye ho na erade adi anim na sa odo no da wa ye no foforo no de amaye ya ebeboa ye na yetumi anya hoden a ye de retua so esan se enye ya nkasa ya hoden sa do o se eye unconditional engina biara so. John 3:16 senia erade do yen fai na ode ne ho man no sa do ena ye ka ho asem.
Wow. Wow. Anyami me be no ni wakasi o ye bi ene eji akeshi kemoko ni je Christopher Ojile enyen eke moko aka esumule eja aka wo fe won kati akeshi somo nyonmo ji moni somo wo le chon wo bona asomo e wo kemoko le Christo ebe na kan gbomo ele no na acho le somo enyen eke bo aka esumo bo no ni bo yo no ji no no ba anye no ke ha no no bo onye oke ha muko e wo be won na akeshi ba hia ni kemoko ba ke bo Christofonyo ake esumobue be mo de nche Christofonyo jile ni enu oson mo shishin kaje na kan ye be mo e malebu be ko le mo edumonoko no enaboni taflache oduku yejekpo lo enaboni bodi enche owofo Ekole na boni okwene eflo na akpa. No kokrede yohe. Ni bomosumo. Shimo jeni esumobo. Kenje nyongbo somomi. Eja keledi enche esakwena. Ebenu. Enyeng ne habu. No ne yo noji no ni ibanye ike habu. Viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're taking a quick commercial break. You're welcome back, viewers. We're still watching the Counseling Corner on PCG TV. PCG TV, in thy light, there is light. This program is supported by the Presbyterian Counselors Association. PCA, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Viewers, we're discussing marriage in the biblical context. A lot has been said already. And to help us discuss this subject is Counselor Owusu Date and Counselor Rebecca Obobisa Daku. Counselors, you're welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Counselor Owusu So, how do biblical teachings on headship and submission impact marriage dynamics?
Thank you very much. Christ died for the church, and because of his sacrificial love for the church, he died. And the responsibility of man in marriage is to sacrificially love the wife or the woman in his life, just as Christ did. And so, biblically, the Bible makes the man the head of the wife in the home. And so, this order that God has prescribed must continue to exist in every marriage. Else, what comes into the marriage is conflict.
Wow.
In this day and life that we live in, we have that kind of attitude and that kind of belief that because marriage relationships are now a shared responsibility.
Exactly.
And therefore,
what man can do,
what man can do, the woman can also do even better. This kind of concept and belief has brought in the kind of belief that the woman is also responsible. It's not the man alone who is providing the means for the family or protecting the family or doing that kind of cultural responsibility that we know about. And so it makes it difficult for women to submit, which is a prescription that God has given to the marriage or the woman to perform.
Wow.
The woman's role is to submit. So any woman who submits to the husband and respects the husband will have peace in the home. There is no peace in the homes of married couples these days because women in the marriage think that they have shared responsibility, they have mutual support, they come in with everything that the man also provides. And therefore, respect has gone down in most marriages.
Wow.
And therefore, most marriages are strained because if the woman doesn't respect, as ordained by God, respect her own husband, there will surely be conflict. Because men these days and in the past always desire that women respect their wives, their husbands, sorry. Women respect their husband so that their husband could also love, even though it's not conditional for the man to say that the woman doesn't respect me, so I'm not going to love my wife. No, biblically, whether the woman respects or submits to you, you have to love her and love the family and do your role just as Christ did. The Bible,
unconditional love.
Unconditional love. The Bible doesn't say that if your wife doesn't respect you or doesn't submit to you, you have to fail your duty as a man to love. So love covers multitudes of sins. So if the woman even doesn't respect you and doesn't play her role in a submissive manner, you still have to love her with the love of Christ, so that even your love for her will teach her the nature of Christ whom he believes, so that she will become a better Christian. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. Papa, any mama, na munje ndi susi. Sa headship yi a creative problem kakra ma yen. Obia bi ni kun de gori kakra. O say, "Oh, wasama." O say, "Umwade." Me na me head no na uka che mi say masa. Ni wa on na damfo di agro mo ka che ni say wasan so dia oni problem. Ono ani wife ka che ne pe asema bebi. Don't you think that this headship has created a little problem in the Christian marriage?
Mama, that's it. Asama wode abai. And say, o say, yɛda so yɛade bɔneyɛfo no.
Na
Kristo wu maa yɛn. Enti engyina biribiara so. Na saa ɔdɔ yɛaba. Na sɛ yɛka headship, sɛ ɔbarima no ne aware no ti no. Yɛde bɛtoto ho sɛ, ɛte sɛ ti a ɛso ade nyinara. Ɛso nneɛma no nyinaa. Ti na kyerɛ sɛ ɔbarima no asodi da ne so. Ɔso fie responsibilities nyinara. Ntitewe ɛso no. Se fie no bɛda din. Obroni sɛ the tone of the home. Ejina ɔbarima ne so. Na kan no na nkae sɛ mmea no na yɛda so ka. Ɔbaa na yɛ aware, ɔbaa na ware. We are saying ɔbarima ɛna ɔware, na ɔbea no nso aware ahwɛ sɛnea ɔbarima no reyɛ no so. Ɛwɔ mu sɛ ɔbarima no ɔbea no ɛna ɛka nneɛma bom na nneɛma atotɔ yie no. Ɛsɛ sɛ ɔbarima no gyina sɛ ti no na ɔtotɔ nneɛma totɔ yie. Otumi yɛ saa asɛde yie a. Megye di sɛ nneɛma bɛkɔ yie, ɛbɛtotɔ yie. Na mpo otumi dɔ fie no dɔ mma dɔ ɔbea no. Na ɔbea no rekyea a watumi de no si kwampa no so a ɛbɛma ɔbea n'asɛde ayɛ mmerɛw. Na watumi de so bui a Awurade ka ho asɛm yi aba. Moma yɛnkae sɛ headship a yɛka ho asɛm yi, it is a priesthood. So we call our fathers and our husbands the priests
of the house.
The priests. Yes, they are the heads of the home because they represent Christ. Or they represent God. Yes. So we should see them as our gods. And we should also honor them. Sana trosem aka. Na wanso adoyen. Na ye kabum as Ephesians 5. Aka akosi 33 na. Ose mutual respect. Say ya can headship inti. Merema binum tietia. Wanjire no so. It is not about dominance. It is not about maltreating them or making the woman a second person and now or you're inferior. There be you are partners. Partners in ministry. Inti SSA no ededi. Na sa obu yinsu ededi. Ededi ye pa. Wo dona, wo bunu. Na obetumi apagya no. Na ne sin to ne mmerɛ ye no atumi ahyema.
Mama me de baby a wokan ye me de pa because kamia ye say Marima no nso bi wo hɔ da wɔn ano kɛkɛ. Me na me yoti. Me na me yeti. Me na me yeti. But eti no wokan say e de adwuma nenam sɛ wo yeti de e wo sɛ wo ti asese adwuma ne dodo na asi wo so. Ye da mo ase. Anya me men. Wɔn kase noko ni atwon wɔ mi akɛhyin ke ake boji nuwe wo boji yichwe be yichwe je na ekon na keke shimon yichwe ke no chumonye ko ke yicho jibo pe bo tele gblan fe boni gblan ya ke ba fe ma bo yicho no boji moni onyenye ni mene hwe nyose tafla che ke oke olia ke yicho jibo pe sano na ke shin yichwe e ke no chumo ni ye mama ne papa me da mo ase. Now, we're looking at marriage in the biblical context. Now, how can the churches or the faith-based communities support couples in building strong biblical marriages?
Yɛnsɔre ɛwɔ asɛde. Ɛsiane sɛ sɛ fie nnwo na aware ayɛ basaa,
Mama,
ɛmma
the 1
asɔre
minute,
nkɔ
be
so.
ya no ama yɛn.
Ɛno nti, ɛsɛ sɛ nsɔre yɛ programs ahorow na yɛyɛ nkyerɛkyerɛ, teachings. We will need to do a lot of teachings for couples and for the entire church. We have the singles, we have our widows as part of the singles, and the divorced. They have a lot to teach us. When we bring all of them together, they can educate us and know where things went wrong and where we can beef up our performance.
Wow,
We
thank
also
you.
have
Thank
to
you.
do programs like we are seated here.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, thank
Air
you.
this program.
Thank you.
Yes.
Papa,
Yes, Mama.
could you in 1 minute?
Yes. You see, in one of our values as Presbyterians is that we should mentor the young ones and then teach them in godly leadership. We should mentor and coach the young ones after us. So any Christian husband or Christian wife must make it a point to really do this kind of coaching and this kind of discipleship in marriage, so that when our children marry, they will not have to suffer or begin afresh as to how marriage should be or what. They should learn it in the home. They should learn it in the church. They should learn it everywhere they go, even as we Christian leaders or Christian families and parents teach them the way they should go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Viewers, all too soon, we have come to the end of the show. Today we have learned a lot. Marriage in the biblical context. And we have learned that God Himself is love. So before we can love any other person, we must be Christians, because we must first taste of the love of God to be able to demonstrate the love of God to another person. And so that brings us to the end of this segment. My name is Ivy. I have been your host, and the program is the Counseling Corner.